my thoughts right now, like half an hour into this, is that it leaves you wanting more for sure. Everything just kind of sounds a bit like cheesy. Disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. So after 10 years, Spectrasonics has just dropped on us Omnisphere 3. We're going to be going through it today, making a beat or two with it, kind of putting it to the test. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably curious, you know, is it worth upgrading? Let's find out. The first thing I really want to make to really kind of test this plugin out and like the caliber of the sounds inside this is something like with real instruments. Let's see how it fares with that. We need to start with some kind of like keyboard sound. Live keyboardist, what is this? That sounds sick, to be fair. We can filter this down to something more specific. Rhodes. Oh, this is what I want, yeah. I want to find myself a bass guitar. Surely they have bass guitars in this. Surely. Okay, well, I'm not seeing a bass guitar in here, which is a massive L. Oh, these don't really have the low end. That is disappointing. I'm gonna have to go into a different plugin for a bass guitar. Let's try that preset. Nice. What do I want to hear now? Well, it would be nice to hear some kind of orchestral sounds here. They've got strings. Sounds pretty cool, pretty old. Let's put one of the new reverbs on it. Turn it down a little bit more. I just want it in the background. Warm tones. What is this? Bells Vintage. Let's see what we've got. Some bells would be good. Have they got bells in here? Oh, they got woodwinds. Not that authentic sounding, but they sound quite fake, but I want to try some vocals. Disappointed because the vocals are just one shots. They don't really, you can't really use them to make anything realistic. It kind of just sounds fake. Is there brass in this? So there's no brass either. So it's missing like a lot of different sounds that you would really want from a plugin like this. It really doesn't have as much variety as you think. Disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. That category is kind of cool. Let's keep going through that. Okay, so we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Omnispheres open, and I'm pushing about 40% CPU, which on a laptop like this is a little bit alarming, but Not too bad. Let me show you guys what I'm running just so you can compare. I've got a 2024 MacBook Pro M4 with 48 gig of RAM. But yeah, 5 Omnispheres is pushing it a little bit. I probably max out about 8 or 9. What else have they got in here then? Let's keep going, let's keep going. Oh, that's nice. I think we might have enough stuff now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Omnispheres. Let's see if we can go for 10. I will say Omnisphere definitely does excel in like the weird factor. If you're looking for some sounds that you just won't hear anywhere else, Omnisphere definitely has that for sure. But my thoughts right now, like half an hour into this, is that Omnisphere is a great all-round plugin. However, it doesn't really do anything specifically better than something that's designed to do it, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of like the jack of all trades but the master of none. You know, like if this was like your first plugin and you have like no sounds and you're somewhat new to producing and you just want something that can kind of do it all but not necessarily like the best, then this is definitely good. But if you're someone who already has a lot of plugins that do certain things really well, like bass guitar or brass or vocals or, you know, strings or bells or synths, then I don't think this can really compete that well. I mean, there are certain sounds that, yeah, they are good for sure. But as you can see, when I start getting down to the nitty gritty specific sounds, which aren't too much to ask for, it leaves you wanting more for sure. At least that's my opinion. Yeah, let's see if we can add a vocal from this. I really want to. I just can't seem to find one that actually sounds good. Everything just kind of sounds a bit like cheesy. Like there's only like all these choirs just sound very old. Now I'm standing on that. I don't really like the vocals in Omnisphere, I'm not gonna lie. They're just not that good. They don't sound real. They sound cheesy, a bit old-fashioned sounding. Something like you'd hear in like Nexus back in the day. Just not very good. Let's add some effects to this. I'm gonna process all these sounds inside of Omnisphere as well. I'm not even gonna use the mixer. This piano sound, it's very cool. I like it, and it has already got like a bunch of effects on it, but I want to see, is there a tape plugin in here? Let's see. Surely there is some kind of like tape effect in here, surely. Here we go. Okay, I found it. It's called Analog Studio. It's in color. Tape plus console. Okay, cool. It does have that. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to open up one more Omnisphere. I'm going to do a lead guitar. Okay, cool. Let's split this by channel now. We've got a bunch of Omnispheres. I want to render these out to audio to let my CPU have a rest. Yeah, interesting so far. Alright, let's bounce that as one. We'll put some effects on it and then we're going to chop it up and make a beat out of it. It's going to be really cool. We put a tape J37 on it. Makes it sound like it's coming from a room. Make it a bit mono as well. Now it sounds like it's coming from somewhere, like a real place. Sounds a little bit thin though. I'll let a bit of bass in. Let's consolidate that now with the effects on it because we're going to flip it. New pattern. For each slicer channel. Let's try and change the pitch of this. I like that. We can work on that. Okay, so we made something with real instruments. Now we're going to make something with synths inside of Omnisphere 3. I'm really interested to check out this section of the plugin just because obviously you guys know I'm really into my synths. I have a bunch of synths in the other room. So I have a good idea of what a synth should sound like, and we're going to see how this compares, because this should be one of the top, if not the top synth plugin you can get in terms of like hitting that realistic synth tone on the head. So let's see what we can do. Let's go for the Prophet keyword here and try and find a sound in here. Let's start with something simple like this. Oh shit. What about if we search in Oberheim? So far, I'm actually quite impressed with the synth sounds in this thing. It sounds really good. I'm much more impressed with the synth sounds than I was with the instrument sounds, I must admit, but we're just getting started, so let's just keep going. Let's record that in. Some nice sounds in there. Let's keep going. Let's add in, let's try an ARP, because yeah, plugins never really do the ARPs justice in my opinion. Let's see if it can do it. What else can we look at in here? What about theremin? Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I can work with that. That's a nice sound. Little unexpected one. Quite nice. Oh, yeah, that's sick. I like that. I could put some crazy effects on that and make it sound sick. Let's do those chords. So I think it was... Ah, I fucked it. Alright, yeah, cool. So yeah, out of the synth sounds I tried, I thought they were really good. As usual with Omnisphere, there's just so much in there that it kind of feels like there's less good stuff than bad stuff. But it's one of them ones where you're bound to find a sound you like sooner or later. Sometimes you get lucky, you find it straight away. Sometimes it takes a few, tries to find something you like. But I feel like in the end, in this category of sounds, I feel like you always find the sound you want, realistically. If this doesn't have it, I'll be quite surprised, because there is such a wide variety. It's crazy. So yeah, and they sound really, really good. They definitely sound pretty realistic. They're very easy to tweak. The plugin is very intuitive. Everything's kind of exactly where you would expect it to be, and everything kind of sounds good. I'm going to process this sample and then put drums over it. I'm hearing like an Iceman vibe on this, to be honest. I want to make it sound like it's been sampled, so I'm going to put a J37 on it. Oh yeah. Shape of rocks. So it's going to be a bit like a side chain. I go nun, 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 nun. Maybe slower. That's better. There we go. So let's quickly do a synth bass over this. Let's add this lead on. Let's do that bass then. I got distracted by the Moog leads. That's a nice bass. I like the sound of that. stretch it and give it that like sampled feel. It just doesn't quite have that. That's a great little layer to have in there, I think. Okay, there's a bunch of cool chop ideas in here. Okay, cool. That's the beat done for sure. I would just need to arrange it out a little bit, but you guys get the point. So let's talk about Omnisphere 3 overall. As somebody who has already owned Omnisphere 2 for a long time, if you're in that same position and you're thinking that this would be a cool upgrade, I definitely agree. It is definitely a cool upgrade, and it is 100% worth the $199 upgrade fee that I paid to get this, because there was a bunch of new sounds and it definitely reignites it for me. A couple areas where I think they could definitely improve a lot. The real instrument sounds for me are just lacking. They are. I give them like a 6.5, honestly. I'm going to lower it slightly from 7 to 6.5. I think that's more feasible because there's just so much stuff missing from there that I would love to see. Positively, the synth section is absolutely crazy. I would give that an 8.5, to be honest. I would say it's one of the best synth plugins out there for sure. It's really, really good. So yeah, if you've already kind of got that real instrument basis covered with other plugins, then I would say this is a great synth plugin for sure, but it definitely still has some really cool like vintage and also, you know, realistic instrument sounds in there, just not the complete library that I would want. Overall, I'm definitely impressed with Omnisphere 3. I'm definitely glad I copped it. So yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.